Let's fucking go.
Welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to review episodes 1 and 2 of Fallout Season 2. Now, Fallout Season 1 was a massive surprise to me. Now, I had heard that Amazon was in the process of producing a show based on the Bethesda video game, the Bethesda video game series Fallout, and let's be frank, Fallout and Skyrim are pretty much the two biggest games Bethesda has made, but the Fallout franchise in particular, in my opinion, is some of the best science fiction, post-apocalyptic storytelling ever done. I mean, that retro, futuristic, 50s style, it's just fascinating. That there's something creepy about it. There's something haunting about it. There's also something scary about it. There's something comedic about it. There's a lot. The Fallout franchise to me is one of the franchises and one of the products that has managed to create a sandbox that can host so many different types of stories within it. When you play the Fallout video games, as I am, I played all every Fallout game since 3. And I can tell you, when you play those games and you explore the maps and stuff, you just realize there's just so much going on. There's so much in this world, and the vault tech, and the mutated monsters, and the ghouls, and the people you run into, and the people recreating things. The Fallout universe is so fascinating and so vast and so cool that when I heard they were making a show about it, I was excited, but I didn't know how to feel about it because I didn't know how much money they would be willing to invest in the show. Because, while Fallout is one of the video games that I actually do think would be easier to translate to film, just because for the most part you're dealing with a lot of normal people and mutated monsters. It's not like any super. There's nothing in the Fallout franchise that needs, in my personal opinion, too much over the top CGI. It's not like making a movie. It's not like making a fucking like a live action, like a Metroid Prime or something, or maybe that's not a bad, because maybe you can do a Metroid. I'm trying to think of video games that would there are certain video games that would just be too, not impossible to make, it'd just be so expensive to make. It's one of the reasons why when I've heard about the God of War show they're trying to do, I'm like, I don't know, that has to be insane, because God of War is pretty massive and pretty over the top. There's some huge spectacle type shit going on almost all throughout the entire game. Now, granted, there's less of it in the new game franchise God of War than the original God of War series, but still, it's pretty over the top. There's some over the top games that I'm just that can be actually adapted. It just would take so much special effects. And Fallout wasn't one of them, but I was just if you want to make it look good, you have to do that. And with shows like Last of Us and Witcher for a little bit, the first season of Witcher and things of that nature, there have been some shows that have done a good job capturing the video games. Obviously Super Mario Brothers. There's been some good movies and shows. Video game movies and shows have started to swing in the positive. And I have to say, Fallout Season 1 surprised me of how great it was, of how authentic it was, of how true to of how they manage to do the thing that all adaptations have difficulties doing sometimes, which is staying true to the material, staying true to the actual content, to the comic, to the video game, whatever the source material is, being true to the source material while making it realistic, while making it believable. They wrote the show in a way in which it's not talking down to people. It's people who play the video games get everything that's going on, but people who haven't played the video games also get what's going on. And that is what a successful adaptation should do. And I was shocked about how well Fallout managed to do that. I was shocked about how well they managed to make me like Lucy, make me like Max, make me like all the ghoul, make me like all these characters. And I was shocked of how well they were able to recreate the same experience us Fallout game players had playing the video game. They managed to take the material and do what I always, I'm like, this is an example. The Fallout show, to me, is the greatest example of this is how you adapt a source material of a video game. Every fucking video game adaptation from here on forth should adapt the shit the same way they did here. But it also had another side effect of being somewhat, maybe, canon. Actually, I think it is canon. I think the Fallout creators have said that whatever happens in the next Fallout game, the events of this show will be referenced and may have a direct effect on whatever's happening in the next Fallout game. So this show, it's not even just a show. It's canon. It's kind of a sequel event in the category in the Fallout franchise. But I digress. Getting into season 2, I had high expectations, and episodes 1 and 2 lived up to the billing. The episode starts off not too long after the ending events of of season 1, which ended with Lucy's father running off in a power armor suit to Las Vegas to we don't know what to do, but he's running off to Las Vegas, and now her and the ghoul are chasing after him, and she's trying to make her father answer for all the things that she's done, because as we discovered in the end of the season 1, that in reality, the actual true villain of the Fallout universe is Vault-Tec. And Vault-Tec, along with all these other rich douchebags who if you played the game, you kind of read about House and all these other companies. All these companies blew up the world in order to recreate it in their image. And Vault-Tec was the #1 culprit and the #1 helper in doing so. And their father was one of the people who knew about, not only was he one of the people who knew about it, he was one of the people who were implementing Vault-Tec, doctrines. And now the cat is out of the bag, and the father's running for his life, and she has to chase after him. And when we start the show off, it's funny how it starts off with fucking the ghoul hanging by his neck and barely able to survive. And actually, it starts with Cooper Howard, who is what the ghoul is, in back in the day, 200 years ago, before he was turned into a ghoul. And Cooper Howard is such an interesting character because Walton Goggins is given a great performance because he gets to play like 2 different characters. He gets to play Cooper Howard, this father who just found out that this awful secret. It's like finding some crazy shit out. It's like finding out that somebody like your wife or your husband, was responsible for the killing of JFK or some shit. Like, it's like finding out some shit that you can't do nothing about. And he's stuck in this conflicting moment of one part of him feels like I need to get the fuck away from this entire situation. Another part of him feels responsible because as we found out in season 1, Cooper became the fucking the poster boy for Vault-Tec. So Cooper is the bobblehead. Everyone's seen that in the Fallout franchise, that bobblehead with the thumbs up and the smile and doing all those different things. Cooper Howard is the bobblehead. He is that character. Like, all of that is based off of him. And so in a way, he feels responsible in a way for making people feel comfortable about Vault-Tec, not knowing that they were going to kill everyone. So he's feeling all these conflicting feelings. He's got this one chick trying to talk him into, playing spy and spying on, his wife and stuff. So he's got all these feelings going on. And then we kind of cut back to him as the ghoul in modern day. And the contrast between those 2 characters, between who he used to be and who he is very much fun, because it's like you get the feeling that in the 200 years since the end of the bombs drop, he has been through so much shit. He is not the same guy he used to be. Lucy is continuing to be a fun character. I know some people can be irritated by Lucy, but I think it's a play on the Vault. Obviously, Lucy's character is kind of a play on the Fallout 3 Vault Dweller, because she doesn't know anything. She was born in this sterilized environment. She was born in this environment where she just learned differently. So she's still having trouble adjusting to this new world. She still has trouble adjusting. And they're doing this thing, obviously, with her and in the ghoul, where one of them is like, where you question, is like, either she's gonna soften him up and remind him of the man he used to be, or is he gonna crush her and turn her into something else that she doesn't want to be, or she's gonna let this world start to corrupt her and start to break her down until she becomes something very similar to the ghoul. And that's kind of the dichotomy between the two, is these two people with totally different mindsets, except the only thing is he wants to find out if his wife and daughter are still alive, because they may be. So that's what's going on with them. They're still venturing across the Mojave to New Vegas, and New Vegas is recreated so beautifully. It looks great. I think everything about it. We got to see some of the fucking giant scorpions from the video game from New Vegas that look great too. I was like, okay, they nailed that automatically right off the bat. And her father, meanwhile, is on some other shit trying to wake up some secret fucking mind control device that we saw a glimpse of in episode 1. So that's going on. Meanwhile, Maximus he's kind of in a bad headspace, right? After the events of season 1, he's sort of in this headspace where he's just like, look, I'm not happy. He's not happy. But he's like, I have a better chance at rehabilitating the Brotherhood from the inside than anything I could do on the outside. And he's in this bad headspace, and he, like I say, his heart isn't in this. He's just moving through the motions. He's just doing what he needs to do. But he doesn't, clearly he misses Lucy. Clearly he wishes he could be doing something else. But he's like, you know what? This is where I am. This is what's going on. And this is the best we can do, humanity can do. I'm going to just roll with it. So, see, episodes 1 and 2, it just is picked up the steam. It didn't lose any momentum. It is just as good. It had a great action sequence to start the season. Fun action sequences throughout. More and more world building with the past stuff with Cooper. More and more intrigue with as they get closer and closer to New Vegas. Because they haven't even gotten to Vegas yet. It's just been shit going on the outside. And the show does this thing, and where this is me complimenting the show in general. It takes advantage of the fact that it is a show, and it takes its time to set up things to come back around to. It's not in a rush to get to point A to point B, but it's always moving, right? It doesn't stop. It's not like a filler episode and it stops and nothing really happens. Like, it's always moving. It's just not always moving at a breakneck speed. It's not afraid to take its time and just warm up to whatever it's going to do. And for that, I fucking loved episodes 1 and 2 of season 2 of Fallout. Episodes 1 and 2 of season 2 of Fallout get 10 out of 10 from me. I am excited. I can't wait for the rest of the season. Hopefully it keeps going. Anyway, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like and subscribe, and Merry Christmas.